Good morning, children. Welcome to English class. Today we are going to discuss about a new poem, A Legend of Northland, which is written by Fabe Carey. Okay. So, legend is a person who does something very appreciating. Okay. Who does something very appreciating, who uh, whose works strucks or keeps a dark gesture in everybody's mind and heart, and people do remember them in each and every generation wise. Their work keeps rolling. Okay, so here in this poem also we are going to learn about something which an incident which had taken place in Northland. Away in the Northland, where the hours of the days are few, and the nights are so long in winter that they cannot sleep them through. Means far away. Twice the word away has been used in the first line to keep stress on the distance which is maintained from our country to Northland. It's all about the distance. Okay. To show stress on the distance, the word away has been used twice in the first line. This is the significance of the use of the word. Where the hours of the days are few, that is, days are very short and nights are very long. That is why the poet has mentioned that they cannot sleep them through. If a person keeps on sleeping for more than 8 to 10 hours, now if we expect that the person is going to sleep for 14 hours, that is not possible. Yes, it is possible. There can be two reasons. One, the person is very sick. The other, he is having some problem. Okay, so the nights are too long to cover up by sleeping, where they harness the swift reindeer to the sledges when it snows, and the children look like bear's cubs in their funny furry clothes. So now the scene, the atmosphere of the Northland is tried to be depicted by the poet. That is, when the harness bell, or the sweetness of the bell, the swift reindeer, when the reindeer goes through, they have a bell in their neck and it moves. You must have seen Santa Claus. Santa Claus, when comes, it is believed that he comes on the sledge which is pulled by reindeers, and so they have a bell. That bell's sound is harnessed to the sledges when it snows outside, when the snow falls, that is snows. Then these people residing in Northland often ride in sledges which is pulled by the reindeer, and the children look like bear's cub, and the children who are residing over there, they look like bear's cub. Now, why are the children actually compared with bear's cub? Because bear, what is the structure of a bear? Bear is bulky, fatty, a furry type structure. It is filled up with fur because of its safety, to get safe from tremendous cold. And the children residing in Northland, they wear cloths which are decorated with furs from outside, and they are also looking fluffy, and their fluffiness proves that they are the bear's cub babies of the bear, and these children look like the bear's cub in the funny furry clothes. They tell them a curious story. I don't believe it's true, and yet you may learn a lesson if I tell the tale to you. They have heard some story, but I don't believe that it is something truthful. But I think if I am going to describe the story to you, I am going to explain the story to you, you people can learn a lesson. It can be a moral story for you all. Once, when the good Saint Peter, so now the story begins. Once, when the good Saint Peter lived in the world below, Saint Peter named Saint, priest. Okay, he was basically a very good saint. Lived in the world below. He used to live in one part of the world and walked about it preaching, giving lectures to the people regarding religious thoughts, regarding God, regarding pious life. Just as he did, this is the work of a saint. They keep on preaching people, teaching people the goodness of God's, the goodness of the faith on the God, the goodness of doing good gestures with the people, the goodness of speaking nicely with common people. He came to the door of a cottage. In a small cottage. He came in traveling round the earth. He was too tired. He kept on traveling all over the world, and finally he came in the door of a cottage and where a little woman was making cakes. There, a little woman, she was preparing or baking cakes and baking them on hearth. Baking them on heat. Hearth means heat. She was baking the cakes and being faint with fasting. And this poor Peter, he was so tired, so exhausted, running all through the sun and walking, because he was basically a saint. He didn't have lots and lots of amount with him, money, so that he can ride anything. And riding in sledge is very expensive. So he started fainting, for the day was almost done. Day was almost done means one day was covered. It was the evening time. The night was approaching. He asked her from her store of cakes to give him a single one. And so he asked her, the small lady, that madam or lady, can you please give me a piece of cake? Because I am fasting, I am hungry, I am becoming fainted, I am not feeling well. So can you please be able to give me a small piece of cake from your bakery? So she made a very little cake, and she was very, what should I say, she was very mean-minded mentality woman. So she baked a very small cake just for the saint. But as it baking lay, she looked at it and thought it seemed too large to give away. She thought, "Vare baap re baap, this cake is so big. Now how can I give this cake to that poor saint? This is my loss. After all, I am a business person. I should not do." And so she did not do it. She baked the cake, but she was not ready to hand it over to the saint, because she was feeling it too big to hand it over to the saint. She looked at it and thought it seemed too large to give away. Therefore, she needed another and still a smaller one. Again, she prepared the batter and make another cake, smaller than the previous one. But it looked, when she turned it over, as large as the first had done. But again, when she baked it, she found, Baba, this is as same as the previous one. When I could not give that one to the saint, how can I give this to him? Then she took a tiny scrap of dough and rolled it flat and baked it thin as a wafer, but she could not part with that. And then she took a very small dough and she rounded, and then again she could not divide it. It was so small. For she said, my cakes that seem too small when I eat of them myself are yet too large to give away. So she put them on the shelf. And finally what she did, she prepared all the cakes and she kept it on the shelf. because she thought that when I go to take my cake, eat my cake, I feel it is so small. But when I feel to give it to others, it becomes so big. So leave it. I don't want to give anything. Just keep it on a shelf. Then the good Saint Peter grew angry, for he was hungry and faint. He became so annoyed. How mean! You are preparing cake, you cannot offer me a single one. He was so mean-minded. Huh? I am getting fainted, I am so hungry. All over the world I have rounded and I have come here. I am just wanting a small piece of cake from you. That also you cannot offer that to me. And surely such a woman was enough to provoke a saint. Provoke, insist to do something. And she provoked the saint. The saint got provocated of anger, provocated because of her bad sense and behavior. And he said, "You are far too selfish to dwell in a human form and to have both food and shelter and fire to keep you warm. Oh, crazy woman, you are so selfish. You cannot offer a single piece of cake to a person, and you are residing in this world, making you confirm that you are a human being who have enormous amount of sense, kindness and love towards others. But you are a reckless woman. You are not eligible to reside in this world among the human beings. Now you shall build as the birds do, and shall get you scanty food by boring and boring and boring all day in the hard dry wood. So nowadays, from now onwards, you are going to be a bird who will keep on searching for food the whole day. You will get bored, you will get frustrated, you will get just evacuated from your life, and you will keep on roaming in hard dry wood. Can you imagine what bird she can be? She is going to be a woodpecker. Then up she went through the chimney, never speaking a word, and out of the top flew a woodpecker, for she was changed to a bird. So now the curse of the saint has come, and she has become a woodpecker. She had a scarlet cap on her head. You have seen woodpecker is having a cap on her head from front to back, a long like, and that was left the same. But all the rest of her clothes were burned, black as a coal in the flame. And whatever she was wearing, the dress, all that have burned and become black, and her body became black like a coal, because in flame everything was burned. And every country schoolboy has seen her in the wood, and she has become cursed. This is a cursed life, so she is remaining in woods, forest, trees, plants, where she lives in the trees till this very day, boring and boring for food. And as the saint has said, that you will keep on boring and boring and boring the whole day in the wood. That is, she was dwelling means going through, moving, and she could not get enough food to eat, but she had a very boring, frustrated and blank life. So here ends your poem. I hope you all must have understood. If you have any doubt, let me know. I'll definitely explain the part to you once again. Take care, stay healthy. Bye bye.